So this is Shawn Boone, a young NC State graduate, communications major, who has started his own business after a football career. And he got some questions for me.
Yes, a lot of questions.
My name is Andy Albright, and I love entrepreneurism. I love making money. I love seeing people make money. I love making a difference, doing something to help somebody, change a life, serve somebody, make it more convenient, anything like that. I'm all about doing it.
That's how you always introduce yourself?
No. That's the way I introduce.
How you normally introduce yourself?
Well, it depends on the audience.
Okay, so this is the audience now.
So this group, I would say, my name is Andy Albright. I'm the CEO of National Agents Alliance. Started this company in my basement, and it has been so much fun. I would love to show you what I do. I'd like to tell you what I do. I think you can be very successful in this business. And it's very simple. So don't confuse my simplicity for how, I'll say how hard it is, but you have to really focus on it and do the simple things. And I'll share those with you as he asks questions about entrepreneurism.
Yeah, so starting with the simple things, in this business of you building the alliance, coming from being a textile working engineer, making $80,000 a year, which we would call that an implement. So how did you go from being an implement to being able to create, become a great communicator and create a vision to where you can create what?
So, so first of all, I didn't start this business until I was 37 years old. So, so really, there's a lot of stuff from textile engineering to farming, like helping my daddy farm, to helping my daddy do construction, to all these little different deals I got in, selling coupon books, Amway, network marketing. So everything you do incorporates into what you become. And I knew, let me show you this. I have a success coin. Drew, would you grab my bag and the iPad? Success coin. It says, what do you want and how do you get it? So a long time ago, thank you, sir. A long time ago, I started, this is for your dad, not for you. Okay? Ooh, good catch. She's not going to be a receiver. But you can hold it and look at it. But I'm giving it to you because of your service to NC State. Okay? What do I want? How do I get it? I carry this in my pocket because, and I started this. I just did this coin 4 years ago, and we've done it for 4 years. But a long time ago, I started thinking, like when I was a little, and I'll say a lot of kid. Yeah, when I was a kid, I was thinking, what do I want? You wanted to be an NFL superstar. I wanted to be a baseball superstar, right? But I was just like, what if I don't? And people say, you can't think about what if you don't. I did. Okay, does that make sense? Like I tried it out at NC State. 3 hours. And nobody had to tell me I wasn't as good as those other kids. I knew it.
So how did you trick yourself out of not thinking about the what if? Like what if you don't?
Okay. So when I decided early that I wasn't going to be the baseball guy. Does that make sense? Like I decided early, like my freshman year, like it was out. Like I wrapped my glove up with a belt, put a baseball in it, and poured a bunch of oil on it and threw it in the closet. I didn't take it out one single time until my brother came to NC State. I was a senior, he's a freshman, we played on the intramural team together. I took it out for that season, I wrapped it up, I don't know where it is now. I know, it is crazy. I know. So maybe I'm a little bit of a crazy person, right? A fanatic person. So what I was thinking, what I want when I get big. I want to get married. I want to have a family. I wanted my kids to like me. I wanted to travel. Like I wanted to do stuff. So the how do I get it was be an engineer, go to NC State, sell coupon books, get in this money scheme that I was involved in, get an Amway. All of those were how do I get it? So I just kept fighting and fighting until this hit. You with me? So let me tell you how it hit. A guy called me just like you and said, come up to Richmond, Virginia. And I went up there and met with a guy, got an insurance, started building a network.
So now, the guy that got you into insurance.
Yeah. Well, my cousin got me into insurance.
Right.
But he wasn't making, he's making $150,000.
So how did you, how did you know when you got into it that you was going to outdo your cousin?
I didn't. I just started working. And whatever they said do, I did. You know what I mean? In other words, I'm not I remember one guy told me, he said, he was one of the guys coaching me. And he said, you're flying all over the place and working real hard. What if it don't work? I said, what do you mean what if it don't work? You told me it would work if I did it.
So you was like the guy that was like, it has to work or it has to work.
Yeah.
There's no in between.
I'm gonna mess somebody up. If you said, Andy, you swear if I do 40 appointments, I'll make 100,000. I go, Shawn, you might make 100,000 before the end of the year, but there's 1,000,000%. I'm an engineer, so I should say 100%. Guaranteed, you'll make $100,000 next year. Really, if you do 40 appointments, you ought to make 200. You say, well, if I don't, I'm pretty strong. I'll be like, yeah. You better pack a lunch.
Yeah.
I'm squirrely.
Yeah.
But you see what I'm saying? If you said if it don't work, I'm coming after you, I would start helping you more because you're doing it, not because of the threat. It's because you're doing it. So the more a person does, the more you'll help them.
Right.
So many people have tried to help me because I'd be working so hard. They try to help. I read something this morning, and I'll remember where I read it eventually, but it said, it's Bill Goff, Bob Goff or something, Goff. He said, the road seems to flatten out and be easier to ride down it when you start doing what you're supposed to do. Something like that, and I was like, I have heard that the right people will come into your life when you start doing what you're supposed to do.
So, but before doing, do you have to become before you start doing? Or as you're doing, you become? As you're doing, you become. It'd be like saying you have to become somebody before you start lifting weights. Yeah, you got to start lifting weights. But then you become. Yeah. Spencer weighed 135 when he started going to CrossFit. Now he's 195. Just discipline. It's all because of doing. But he's a different person now. Like, he didn't know what meal prep was when he weighed 135. Now he knows what meal prep is. You know what I mean? Yeah. So he's a more disciplined. He's this, he's that. So how important is routine? What is your routine? Like, do you have a set morning routine that helps you become successful? I tell people this: you don't want to know what my routine now. You want to know what it was when I was trying to build something. Right. That helps you become successful. Yeah. I don't want to do that. You don't do it like that. You're still what I'm saying. It's like people are copying you. I go, I built a company. I've got 3 homes. Don't copy me now. I work hard. Today, I killed it today. But tomorrow, I might not. I'm going to Africa 10 days. I'm going to a football game in Mississippi. You can't do that. You can't. You're doing it with me, but you know what I'm saying? You better be working when you ain't with me. So here's what I started. I was talking to that little bitty girl, and she's got a lot of things going on in her life. I started eliminating this and doing more of the alliance. Does that make sense? I just wouldn't get confused. I just started getting rid of stuff. And then I started stiff-arming friends that I didn't mind hanging out with. I just didn't hang out with them anymore. So I see you use this I think it comes from the book First Things First.
100%, first things first, Stephen Covey.
So it's the quadrant of
Important and urgent. Important and urgent, and important but not urgent. Like reading is not urgent. You'll be all right for a long time without not reading. But it's important, so you got to schedule it and do it.
Right.
But over here, you got to book appointments. You got to call everybody you know.
And what's not urgent? I guess that depends. based off you.
Yeah, like social media is not urgent. Knowing Bradley Chubb, like for you, knowing what Chubb's stats are is not urgent or important. He's your friend.
Right.
Be your friend. Well, I like no stats. He ain't your son. You ain't gonna get a percentage or a cut unless you're gonna do fantasy football.
Right.
Which is I mean, I'm happy Mac does it, Adam's done it while he's in it. I don't care, but not in the middle of a war.
Right.
You got a war on poverty, you know what I mean? So, I always want people to get a secretary quick because, God, underwriting, pending, the stuff like anything, put it this way. If you know you can make $100 an hour, you should never do anything that's less than $100 an hour. You should pay Chris $90 an hour rather than you do it. But most things cost $28 an hour or $10. So if you could make 100, why not give somebody 28, make 100?
So you was big on delegating your time, jumping right out the gate.
It's oh my God. I got good at that when I was, keep in mind, I was 37. So at a textile mill, I would never, I'd read these books and not do stuff that I could get somebody else to do.
What was your top 5 books that you would say you ever read?
Well, most motivating book of all time. You know what that is? My most motivating book?
The book of Proverbs.
Nope, that's my favorite book.
Okay.
My most motivating book. Checkbook.
Oh yeah, that is.
Checkbook. Checkbook. Look at my checkbook. Oh man, I gotta go to work. Favorite book of all time? Bible. Most motivating? Checkbook. Most educational? Think and Grow Rich. Changed my life forever is Anthony Robbins' Awaken the Giant Within. He describes your avatar. He describes it. How to Win Friends and Influence People that you're reading right now. First Things First, unbelievable. And then it's just like, oh my God, it just don't end. I brought 2 that I've never promoted to anybody else, but these are my 2. This is the book I was reading when I said how fanatical I was about Jane and really focused on her. And it's really like a daily devotional for falling in love again. I'm not out of love, but I just kind of a reminder, right? I love Andy Stanley. He's a preacher. Enemies of the Heart. I'm not sure if I've ever read that, but I'm gonna read it. I love Andy Stanley. I've heard people quote it, but I just nonstop reading, trying to get better. And then like John Maxwell, paying crazy money for Brian Tracy. Just like that's just not an option, right? But it was like a priority for that stuff. Number 1 priority, then business expenses. Like think about this. Who's the most valuable person in my business? Me. Most valuable person in your business? You. So start with you. You got to take care of you from the educational standpoint. But I'm excited about you. I'm excited about all y'all. Unlimited opportunity. We still live in America. Land of opportunity. And the land of the free. Let's try to, I think more of us get successful, the more apt we are to keep it free. And the more we're willing to fight for it. And the more opportunity we have for our kids and grandkids if we keep it open. And the more of us that is successful, we set the example that anybody can be successful.